welcome to the Two Guys and Chris show. Great to have you listening here on a Thursday. A quick email to get out of the way. Something we discussed yesterday. Yesterday was National Smoothie Day. So I had reported these deals going on for smoothies at certain shops.
It was flip-flop day.
Oh, it wasn't even smoothie day. It was flip-flop day. Oh, if you wore flip-flops into the smoothie place, you got a free smoothie. So Lane, who owns 10 different Smoothie King locations.
That's an entrepreneur, my friends.
It is. Took the time to email and said, thank you for mentioning the flip-flop deal on your air. I own 10 Smoothie King locations across Wilmington, Fayetteville, Greenville, Raleigh, Jacksonville, Durham, et cetera, et cetera.
Wow.
The deal was not for Smoothie King. It was for Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Yeah. Interestingly, the mention led my area managers to panic call me, saying, are we doing something about flip-flops today? So great marketing on your part. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank you. We are Smoothie King. They are Tropical Smoothie Cafe. I feel like it did help our sales this evening. So, Rusty, stop correcting Chris Kelly. His ineptitude is driving business to our store across the You're welcome. You're welcome. That was for National Flip-Flop Day yesterday.
I don't know if this was taught to you in radio broadcasting school, but the one thing that you do better than anyone I've ever met is be confident with wrong information.
Yes.
And that's why I think it's so believable, because I've never met anyone like you who, even when I know you're telling the wrong information and you kind of look at us like, this is the wrong information, you still sell it. And you've always been great at that.
That's right. Who does that sound like? Look to the Oval Office.
Exactly right.
Talk about an entrepreneur. Talk about a guy who gets things done.
Even when you know the information is bad, you're not going to give it up. You're like, yep.
Don't back down from the information. You go with what you say. I said at the peak of COVID, bowling alleys are thriving. It was pointed out to me later that same day, bowling alleys were going out of business left and right. They had lost 50% of their business. You couldn't go inside. So the next day, what did I do? Double down.
Double down.
Say
it's not what I heard.
The wrong information again.
In fact, you may have saved some bowling alleys.
That's right.
Because you sent people there who were like, yeah, this COVID's fake. Business booming.
Now, I may have killed...
Who told you to come here?
Now,
it's one person per lane.
Now, I probably killed people, but I saved some bowling alleys. There may be some people who got COVID because they went bowling because of me. So I just say you're welcome to Smoothie King.
Yeah.
And Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I wonder how much money you've cost businesses over the years with your confidence.
Well, just ask the Flatizza people.
Well, and let's not forget,
Regazi.
Somebody stopped by a Regazi.
Regazi's, put them out of business, an entire chain.
People ask me, occasionally we'll mention what I did to Regazi's. That was an Italian chain that was excellent. And only one man could sink that ship, and it was me. People ask me what I did to Regazi's. I came up with a promotional idea called Regazi Bucks, and it worked like a charm. We had a huge meeting, and the idea was we're giving out on our radio station $100 prizes. It was $100 worth of Regazi Bucks, and they would be like $20 increments, but they were just paper, But you could use them at any Regazi's restaurant as if it was money. And I said, go with it. And the CEO in the meeting said, well, what if somebody orders $5 worth of food and pays with a $100 Regazi bill? And I said, give him the change. Give him
cash.
$95 in cash.
Listen, my friend, I know business, and that's not going to happen.
People are going to use up every cent of those Regazi Bucks. Have you been to Regazi's?
Yeah. Now, to me, what I pictured that day when the Regazi Bucks went out and everybody got them is I bet you walked into Regazi's and it was slam packed.
It was.
But no one was eating.
That's right.
They were all having a tea and leaving.
They got a glass of tea, $1.19. paid with $100 of Regazi Bucks, and got $98.81
I see
back.
bread on table. The bread is free.
Come, you see it.
Regazi's out of business. 6 months later, it was a
bloodbath.
A bloodbath. But I stood by it. In those meetings later where they were trying these lawsuits, I said, no, I wanted the Regazi Bucks, and I think you did.
People will come back.
They'll come back. They'll get those.
They'll have that lasagna and think, I've got to come back.
Most mozzarella sticks were delightful.
Mm-hmm. Do you think anyone from Tropical Smoothie Cafe had their rolled out their flip-flop banner yesterday, and there's a Smoothie King across the street? It's like, but he keeps walking into that store.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
I bet they were confused because they're probably driving by the busy Smoothie Kings going, what is going
on?
What the hell?
We have free flip-flop
day. We did the promotion. We are the ones that did it. Yeah. I gave the wrong smoothie information for flip-flop day. Then the other thing we talked about right at this time that I got an email about, my wife was confused. I told her Lester Holt was leaving the NBC Nightly News. And she said, what the hell are you talking about? I said,
it's not really a secret.
No, that's been stated multiple times. And I said, Tom Yamas is taking over. She goes, what? Stop saying Tom Yamas to me. I kept saying Tom Yamas. And she said, stop saying the words Tom Yamas to me. So our former colleague, Doug, said, I can speak on this. He's an NBC guy. He watches Lester on the NBC Nightly News. And he says, for the last 6 months, I've noticed a twitch in Lester's right hand as he reads the news. And he's concerned that Lester has some sort of an issue, some sort of a medical issue, and that may be the secret reason that he's leaving the NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Yesterday, Hoda Kotb was on the Today Show. She was back, and she revealed her daughter has type 1 diabetes, and that was in part the reason that she left the Today Show. And she shot down rumors that she'd be taking over Kelly Clarkson's spot. I had that.
Yes, you did.
I reported that.
Yeah.
She said that is not going to happen, that she is not going to be taking over for Kelly Clarkson, and that her daughter had type 1 diabetes. But back to our friend Doug, who says he's concerned about Lester Holt's health. He said, Tom Yamas, and he calls him Yama Yama, Tom Lama Lama Yamas, is terrible. And I don't know that I've seen him anchoring.
I have, and I don't love it either.
Oh, really?
I don't. Maybe at first, okay, I'm glad he said that because I thought it was just me being biased on Lester, because I like Lester.
I do too.
And I know this is real exciting talk here, but I like to flip back and forth between the evening newses. I don't love,
That's what I do. Because I want the best of both. I want Maurice Dubois, and I want John Dickerson, but I also want Lester Holt.
I don't love the CBS combo because John Dickerson does like a weird clicking noise that bugs me.
Yes, he does.
He clicks?
Yes,
he does click.
He's got like a tick.
Yeah, and he'll like when he starts.
Yeah, a lot of that.
Yeah, but I watched Tom Yamas, and I don't love him.
Doug says Tom Yamas is a pretty boy trying too hard, and you can see.
Well, they're all chasing number one, Muir.
David Muir over on ABC, right. And Doug says, I wish they'd release Brian Williams from news anchor Purgatory. He did a great job. And, of course, they put him back on MSNBC. You don't see him as much anymore. He's back on their cable network because he...
Is he still working there?
He was. I don't know. I
think
know.
he's still,
I've seen his face in
he
ages.
still pops in around there.
MSNBC?
Yeah.
If they give it back to him, now he is a seasoned veteran and had the job before Lester. He told basically he fabricated a story with David Letterman.
Yeah, he juiced it up,
He did.
which we've all been guilty of, but you can't do it if you're Brian Williams.
No, you can't. You can do it on radio.
You can do it here.
That's true.
That's the thing.
If Brian Williams would come here, we'd open our arms to him. And say,
Yes.
sit in here. You'd be just fine. But no, you can't do it. You can't do it when you're like the credibility of an evening news. You think the evening news guy is going to make this Smoothie King? I mean, good Lord. Whoa. You can't do something like that on the evening news.
We open our program this evening with some embarrassing news.
Yeah, exactly.
This reporter was led astray yesterday by his producer.
Yeah, that's right. I would have probably done that. Yeah, exactly.
Throw someone else under the bus.
Yeah.
Always.
Do I wish we had a little bit more info in the email. Like, I wonder if when people came into Smoothie King demanding this free smoothie, if there was a fight back and forth with anyone. Because
Showing off their flip-flops?
Yeah, because let me tell you, I've been there before as a pizza manager where somebody comes in, you know, I want this special, and I'm like, that's not our special. That's not your special. And then you have eventually, you know, they'll pull out the coupon and be like, it's Domino's.
But now here's my advice, okay? And you can learn, you can take, I gave advice to Regazi's 25 years ago. We'll see what
Yes, this is Business 101 with Kelly.
Here's my advice. If I were you, I'd honor it. I'd say, oh, you know what we're going to do? It's your mistake, but we're going to honor it.
Since you're here, we'll match it.
We're going to match that anyway. You know?
Maybe I'd say I'll give you buy one, get one on them instead of just free or something.
So I know I would honor what could it possibly hurt?
Oh, yeah, I can. I bet.
You know, a huge pizza place. If it's like you were working at Papa John's at one point, and they come in with a Domino's coupon, then I think you earn them. You know, it's like, oh, in the future they'll remember that and come back to Papa John's. Maybe not, but that's what I would.
They're clearly confused to begin with.
They are, but I would say, remember now, we're Papa John's, and we honored your coupon, even though it was a Domino's coupon.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I would play it.
And lots of people, they take that well when they realize they're wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what does it matter? It's all the same as pizza.
Right. Exactly. It leads to a dilemma I had. Now, I've been called a pleaser, someone who
you
placates and just says what you want to hear. How many people that I know who hate Donald Trump think I hate Donald Trump? And people who love Donald Trump think I love Donald Trump. Why? Because in the same breath, people say, you believe in what Trump's doing? I know.
You try to read what they want. You try to give the answers that people want to hear.
Yeah,
exactly.
You, in our own hallway here, you'll come out and see one person who you know doesn't like Donald Trump.
Yep.
And she'll say, "You believe blah, blah, blah?" And you'll be like, "I know, unbelievable. Can't believe he's running our country."
Unreal.
You'll make it 3 steps down the hallway by a certain
Next
person's office.
Next office, yep.
And they're like, "You know what he did? I
Sure.
love it.
Sure do." Thumbs up.
Flag, fist, firework emoji.
Doge it, am I right? I mean, it is amazing.
It's incredible.
We're so back.
I try not to go overboard one way or the other. Happens on the pickleball court all the time. You know?
Pickle.
All the time. Are you believing what Trump's doing? Tell me about it. You do that.
You're trying to read the room.
Yeah, you read the room. Tell me about it. Then somebody else. Oh, my God. Is the president working wonders or what? Man, I'll tell you.
Tell me about it.
Woo! So the dilemma in being a pleaser, about 6 months ago, and we've chronicled this, on the day Biggie went to the hospital and had to call his own ambulance, as Biggie was making the call desperately for an ambulance to come pick him up, I waved goodbye and went to a pickleball event. I said, sorry, I got to go over
Can't stay. Pickle's calling.
They were announcing that day here at the Coliseum that they were going to be hosting a major tournament.
Is it the golden ticket? That's what they call it?
It's the golden ticket. The golden ticket is, if you win it, you get the ticket to nationals, you know, to the national championship, which is in Florida, I assume. And, I told you yesterday, Diesel, if we were to win something, will probably want us to go to that. Anyway, we're signed up for it. But when I went to that event, the Littlest Patriot and I played against a couple of other people on the surface that literally they're going to have. Now, it's the Coliseum. They don't usually host pickleball events, so they bought these things that you roll out the court. Different than anything I've ever played on the surface, okay? So it's like AstroTurf, sort of. And they're going to roll out 40 of them in the Coliseum for this huge event, which at that time was 6 months away. So the folks that run the tournament came over to me. I didn't even realize why we were there. Now we're popping up on billboards and on, pictures of us are on there, like playing.
Yeah, I can't eat dinner sometimes because the news is even covering this. And
I know.
I'll be eating my dinner and I'll look up and there you are.
I know. From 6 months ago. Plus, it takes you to a dark place. That was the day they checked you into the hospital.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we remember that. It's the day the Littlest Patriot had his run-in with the mayor.
Yeah, that's right.
The mayor was there, and he told me that she hates him because of her mask policy during COVID, and he differed with her on that. So all that aside, when I played out there that day, immediately I noticed the surface was not nearly what I had played on before. The ball didn't bounce properly, and it took a lot of getting used to. And I said to the Littlest Patriot, boy, people are not going to like this if they come here for this tournament.
Oh, you both remarked on it.
Well, he's not as experienced a player as me, but he said this is different. And I said, it is different. And I predict they get a lot of pushback on this when the tournament comes around, which is now happening this weekend. And there'll be, hundreds of people there playing for big stakes, And so I said, this surface is not true. And we played on it for like an hour and a half, and then had lunch, and I made some remarks.
You did?
I made some remarks.
Once the dignitaries were gone.
Correct. They hid me in the back until everybody left. And then later, the head of the Coliseum came over to me.
A word?
Said, I need a word. And I said, yes. And he said, you're the pickleball aficionado in this town. And I said, okay, great. And he said, how's the surface? I want you to level with me. How's the surface? And I said, I love it.
Even though, as a pickle veteran,
no.
you said to yourself
and to the little
Patriot, this is not a true surface.
It's not a true surface. So now I'm concerned that
people from all over the country
are going. Yep,
are now playing on those courts.
They're going to slip and fall or whatever,
or hit a dead spot.
Some famous pickleballer from somewhere is going to hit a dead spot or slip and fall, and they're going to say, "Who approved this surface?" And I'll be there. And then the guy in charge of the Coliseum will look at me and like, you told me.
You said it was great.
I really had that moment there where I could have said, I don't like this that much.
We've seen a lot of movies like this, but usually with a different plot twist. You're the whistleblower, Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah. Who refused to blow the whistle.
Yep, I refused.
You just rubber stamped it.
Swallowed my whistle as a referee does.
Well, because I'm sure they were out there like, listen, before we order 40 of them. 40. We want to make sure.
I know. And they're like
any last thoughts?
They're like $1,000 a piece. They're like, before I sign the check and sign all.
Yeah.
Madam Mayor said, before I give my approval to this, what do you think of this surface? And I said, I love it.
The ball it flies off of it.
I don't know how that one corner caught fire. I've never. You just don't see that.
I can hear the commentators now. We've got people going down left and right here on the courts, folks.
We don't know. Those, I know. When you're there, when you were the Diesel there, it'd be like that moment in Saving Private Ryan where all the sound disappears and it's just haze and blood and wounded soldiers and death. And you're like, what happened? Happened.
That's exactly right.
I could have stopped it. But I didn't.
No, I didn't stop. I could have stopped it 6 months ago. I did not. I said nothing.
Well, something tells me you may not be invited back.
My tongue. It's possible.
To the next dignitary event.
It's possible, yes.
Oh, because I picture him pulling you off to the side this weekend. Hey, can I talk to you for a second? Did you not say it was?
You love
and
this?
we know what you'll do. Seems fine to me.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know what all these guys are talking about over here nursing their injuries. I don't know. I think
like there's I can't remember her name, but there's like an 18-year-old girl, the best pickleball player in the country.
Yeah.
She'll destroy her Achilles.
Oh, saw her at this event last year. This is, I've seen her at this event. So
now she's even better.
Yes,
more famous.
Yes, and it's possible. I'd hate to be responsible for that. But I did. I just said
blow the whistle.
I said what they wanted to hear. I did not blow the whistle. Here's something sports related as well. A quick. This is the other day. Kristen was saying that the New York Knicks have admitted now, at least some are speculating, that they get nervous playing in front of all those high-level celebrities that come to Knick games in the Garden.
Spike, Stiller, Tracy Morgan,
Timothy Chalamet. They're all big Knick fans, and they come to the games and watch, especially in the playoffs. That's when the stars are really, and they're all courtside and everything. Well, remember the other day you said they must have played in Madison Square Garden. I said, no, they played in Indiana. All those people went to Indiana. That was the thing. So you really could spot them then. Chalamet was there. Stiller was there. Spike Lee was there. All those people you just mentioned traveled to Indiana to watch the game, which the Knicks lost. And so they were like, oh, man, we really were.
What does that say about the Knicks?
A lot. You really come on. That says a lot about the Knicks. They continue that series tonight.
I got nervous with Spike Lee in the front row.
Yeah. I mean, most of these guys, most of the celebrities that are coming to them are older. I bet they don't even really know these guys.
Oh, I think they do.
You think?
Spike Lee? Yeah, I think.
Well, Spike Lee, but you think OG Antonobi, who's 23 years old, knows Ben Stiller?
I do.
He
Really?
might know dodgeball and meet the parents.
And I think he knows. I certainly think he knows Timothy Chalamet. And I think that they are sitting courts. I think Jalen Brunson knows some of these guys.
Well, I think anybody in the front row is going to be super famous because
famous.
Chalamet's dating a Kardashian.
Right. And then the Kardashians.
They know them.
They may be, Kardashian may be with him. They do know them. And I think anybody sitting in the front row, don't you find that when celebrities are around, even if I don't know who they are, this is rare when you see one, but I'll sort of go, that guy must be something. You know, when you see
their aura.
Yeah, their aura kind of gives away. They must be something, you know. Plus, you just know that they're there. You know, in New York and L.A., they go. They go to the game. I think young people knew who Jack Nicholson was when he was sitting next to the front row there in
At Laker games.
At Laker games. So they got to suck it up tonight and play in front of these stars again in Madison Square Garden. So that was the theory on why their home record is not that great in the playoffs. Too many celebs.
Starstruck.
I was thinking some of the Knicks in New York are as big a star.
Absolutely.
They're big stars.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson's a big star. Certainly when Jordan played, or LeBron.
That's just why I have a hard time believing all
Curry. But I mean, are they household names? I think Brunson is becoming that.
Yes.
Curry, LeBron, obviously Jordan, they're household names.